Jake Paul.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson's highly anticipated fight fell apart after Paul abruptly canceled. The clash stemmed from Tyson requesting a few rule adjustments, which Paul refused, ultimately throwing a tantrum and calling off the match. Tyson was within his rights to propose these changes, as Jake had signed a contract granting Tyson that authority. Despite the drama, Tyson's requests were not out of line, but Paul's unwillingness to adapt led to the fallout. The shocking cancellation has left fans stunned and could easily make front-page news.
Contract, big boy. Sign the contract.
No problem. Saturday, July 20th.
It's almost funny watching Jake Paul flip out over something he initially agreed to. Let's be real, messing with Iron Mike means you're bound to get knocked out, both literally and figuratively. You're probably wondering where all this drama went down, right? You were glued to the screen during the August 18th press conference, but none of this craziness was mentioned. Here's the kicker. The juiciest moments were snipped from the live broadcast, cutting out the explosive bits like a movie trailer. The press conference at Fanatics Fest was supposed to be standard hype and trash talk, but Jake went off script, turning it into a full-blown spectacle, aiming to verbally annihilate Tyson. Jake didn't hold back, going straight for Tyson's age, calling him washed up. A bold move considering Tyson's legendary status predates Jake even learning how to throw a punch. But Jake wasn't done. He took it further, mocking Tyson's health issues, like some cocky kid thinking he could topple a giant with words alone. It was clear Jake wasn't just trying to sell tickets. He was out to break Tyson mentally before they ever stepped into the ring. But Jake forgot who he was dealing with. Mike Tyson, the man who turned opponents into human punching bags. Tyson didn't flinch. He stood calm, soaking up every insult with that cold, unreadable expression that's made men regret their career choices. Tyson's silence wasn't surrender. It was the quiet before the storm. Jake thought he was winning the war of words, but he was setting himself up for the knockout of a lifetime.
Playing out.
Very painfully.
As Jake's rant continued, the room's energy shifted. What began as a standard press event turned intense, and Jake's bravado started to crack. With a tiny smirk, Tyson casually mentioned tweaking a few fight rules. No drama, just a simple statement that landed harder than anything Jake had said. That's when Jake made his biggest mistake. Running his mouth sealed his fate, as Tyson's new rules were now set in stone.
With people with the same intention, but the actuality, no.
You're probably itching to know what Tyson said that made Jake Paul's world start crumbling. Tyson's first curveball, a knockout-only victory rule. No technical knockouts, no decision wins. The only way to win was to knock out your opponent. This rule was tailor-made for Tyson, who built his legacy on delivering that one punch sending opponents straight to dreamland. For Jake, whose career has always been clouded with doubts about the legitimacy of his victories, this new rule was a terrifying reality check. As soon as Tyson dropped that bomb, Jake's cocky swagger started to crumble. His decision wins and TKO victories suddenly meant nothing, but Tyson wasn't done. He announced 2 extra rounds, pushing both men to their limits. For Tyson, a veteran of brutal wars against the toughest fighters, it was no big deal. But for Jake, whose commitment to boxing has always been questionable, it was a nightmare. When Jake started whining about the new rules being illegal, it was nonsense. Tyson was within his rights, just as the contract allowed. Jake's meltdown wasn't about fairness. It was a desperate attempt to back out of a fight. He realized he couldn't win. Tyson's changes didn't just alter the fight. They exposed Jake as someone completely out of his league.
Of a lifetime on November 15th, and the universe will align for all of its glory and good for God.
Be in shape, be in good shape, because your health depends on it.
Hey, you're the one that wanted 8 2-minute rounds. You want to make it 10 threes? Don't talk to me about shape. Don't talk to me about shape.
Stay in shape, you all right?
You want 10 threes?
Okay.
Let's be real. Tyson did what needed to be done. Why should he waste his time on Jake Paul, especially with whispers swirling about Jake's questionable wins? Rumors have long suggested that Jake, the YouTuber turned wannabe boxer, has been greasing palms and bribing referees to secure those TKO victories, padding his record. These rumors aren't new, but the timing was disastrous for Jake. The press conference had already rattled him, and now, under the spotlight, those whispers gained serious traction. People began revisiting his past fights, scrutinizing every decision and TKO, questioning whether Jake's career was just a house of cards. The notion that Jake might have bought his way to victory hit the boxing world hard. Boxing isn't just about fame or money. It's about proving yourself, raw talent, grit, and the ability to take a punch and keep going. Principles Tyson embodies. The idea that Jake, with all his flash and cash, may have sidestepped that hard work was scandalous. As rumors spread, the foundation of Jake's career began to crumble. And then Jake pulled the plug on the fight, amplifying the backlash. High-stakes fights involve serious money, and cancellations aren't taken lightly. But one thing's clear, Tyson won't let Jake walk away unscathed.